A convicted felon in Jefferson County, Texas, walked into a pawn shop and bought a gun. Federal law says that's a crime. He's going to prison for it. His name is Gerran Donta Ardoin, 38 years old, already a felon under Texas state law. That matters because federal statute 18 U.S.C. Section 922 GG 1 is very clear. If you've been convicted of a crime punishable by more than 1 year in prison, you don't get to own firearms. Not legally, not at all. Ardoin knew this. He filled out the paperwork anyway. On March 28, 2024, he walked into a pawn shop in Jefferson County. He filled out ATF Form 4473. That's the federal form required for every firearms purchase in America. Question 21B asks, have you ever been convicted in any court of a felony? It defines what that means. It explains the law. Ardoin checked the box that said no. That was a lie. He bought a Glock 9mm handgun. He walked out with it. Federal agents don't always catch these purchases immediately. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes the background check system flags something after the fact. Sometimes a felon gets away with it for months or years. Ardoin didn't. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives investigated. They pulled his record, they pulled the form. They had him. On October 9, 2024, Ardoin pleaded guilty in federal court, Eastern District of Texas. He admitted to one count, felon in possession of a firearm. No trial, no drawn-out legal battle. Just a guilty plea. On January 21, 2025, United States District Judge Marcia A. Crone sentenced him. 41 months in federal prison. That's 3 years and 5 months. After that, 3 years of supervised release. The conditions weren't specified in the press release, but federal supervised release always includes the same rules. No guns, regular check-ins, submit to searches, stay out of trouble. This case was investigated by ATF and the Beaumont Police Department. Assistant United States Attorney Alan R. Jackson prosecuted. The Department of Justice announced the sentence in a press release dated January 22, 2025. This is not a violent crime story. Ardoin didn't shoot anyone. He didn't rob anyone. He didn't threaten anyone. He bought a gun when the law said he couldn't. That's the entire case. And for that, he's spending the next 3.5 years in a federal prison cell. Here's what this case actually tells you. The federal firearms prohibition for felons is absolute. It doesn't matter if your prior conviction was decades ago. It doesn't matter if you've stayed clean since then. It doesn't matter if you think you need a gun for protection. If you're a felon, you lie on that form. And you buy that gun, they can send you to prison for years. There's no victim here to count. No one was harmed by Ardoin buying that Glock. Not directly. But federal law doesn't require a victim. Possession is the crime. The policy argument is simple. People with felony records have proven they can't be trusted with firearms. Whether you agree with that or not, it's the law, and it's enforced. 41 months. For filling out a form wrong and buying a gun. The federal system doesn't do parole. He'll serve most of that time. When he gets out, he'll spend 3 more years under supervision. One mistake. Years of his life gone. This is how the system works. This is what zero tolerance looks like. Case 0, I'm Elliot Voss.